Good morning. Predicted Trades family. Hope everybody's doing well. Just checking some settings. Hopefully everyone can hear me, see my screen. Sorry, running a hair behind today. Feeling a little under the weather. So we slipped down overnight, right? Not surprising. We were arriving at this 39.22 this morning. But let's have a little review here. So, had our big run up, and I've just gone sideways for days now. In between this 39.61 and that 40.20. We did get above it just a hair, but then we slipped back. Yesterday, pretty much nothing. Slow little drift down, slow little drift up, repeatedly. And that's overnight. We got our little break lower. And we're getting down to that 39.22. Excuse me, hold on one sec. When the week started, talked about how, we shot up Thursday and Friday. As long as we stay above that 3900, 3922, we could catch a bounce and keep going. And we've just gone sideways, but now we're arriving back at it. The daily 21 and daily 15 have caught up just below our 38.78, which also marks the gap up from CPI. So I would not, or I could foresee a scenario to where we just keep slipping from the 39.22 down to 3900, 38.78, and ultimately tag this daily 21 right around 38.66. So, don't want to fight trend. We're in a steady downtrend from overnight, arriving back at key levels that should give us a bounce if we are going to remain bullish. But overall, we might not find our bounce there, and we might start slipping back to that daily 21 and the daily 50, which has kind of flatlined right at 38.07. If we look at our MA, excuse me, our chart with our MAs, our 45 EMAs from every time frame, we are now below the 4-hour. So if we continue to stay below 39.34, 39.41, then we have kind of changed trend on a 4-hour time frame and could be heading back down. So downside targets for today, that 3900, 38.78, the daily 21 at 38.66, and then we have a little zone there at 38.55, 38.43. We'd have to get all the way back to 37.60-ish to complete filling the gap, which I doubt happens today. And we could very easily get down to this daily 21 at the top of this gap and find buyers that start to bounce us. If we can catch a bounce, obviously it's the goal to get back up to fill the gap. Getting through this 39.41, 39.53, 39.61, and a goal to get back to where we closed. The sound is really low. Here, is this a little better? Sorry, hopefully you guys can hear me okay. But I am a little under the weather, so bear with me. Sorry about that. All right, let's move on. We've got our targets to the upside if we can catch a bounce, and we get targets to the downside if we just keep slipping. And Q also starting to slip out of it, squeezes to the downside, getting back to the daily 8. We have the daily 50, the daily 21, and the daily 15, all sitting down below this 11,500. There we go. So key targets to downside, that 11,500, this daily 50, daily 21, and daily 15, all spanning about down to that 11,360. If we lose that, we could be heading back to this 11,200, big key level. But not surprising, they pushed everything up hard, ran into daily squeeze tops, and now they're letting it drift back to our daily moving averages, basically where a lot of liquidity will be sitting. So I'll be interested to see if we can get down to the daily 21 on most things today, and if they start to bounce us there. On to the ready. Also arriving back at daily moving averages, if the ready starts to lose 1820 today, where the daily 21 sits, then it could be heading back to this 1800 and 1780, where the daily 50 sits. Might be good to use ready as a gauge. If it gives out that 1820 quick, that might be a good sign for getting back to the daily 50. One thing to know is most indices are kind of at the outer shaded region on our beats tool. So it could be that we've gone down a little too much overnight. We catch a little bounce in the morning for a potential half gap or full gap fill before heading lower. But who knows, sellers might just start piling in. Let's see if Ready can hold up that 1820. If not, we'll have a good sign for if we're heading down to that 1800, 1780. YM. Arriving back at the daily 8 in this first Keltner to the upside around 33,250. Let's see if we get any kind of bounce off of these two with the goal of trying to come back up to 33,500. But if we lose that 33,200, it's likely coming straight down to 33,000 where the daily 15 sits. We have a key level at 32,900. And should that start to give out, then we are likely coming back to the daily 21 and daily 200, which sit kind of straddling 32,500. Apple. been saying all week, if we lose that 147.5, we're coming back to this 145, 144. Looks like pre-market, we're starting that journey. Looks like we're also arriving at the daily 21, daily 15. So if we can't hold those at about 146-ish, then we are coming down to test the zone. And should this zone start to give out, this will be the next zone below that I expect it to go to. Around that 138, 138.8, and that key 140 level. So let's see if 144.5, 145 can hold Apple up and start to cause any bounces back to 147.5. Otherwise, fading back to 140. AMD slipping down pre-market to new lows on the week. Let's see how it deals with 70 once it gets there, the daily 8 and that first Keltner up. If we start to lose 70, likely coming back to the 65.5, where the daily 21 and daily 50 are all sitting. Well, let's see if we can hold that 70, hold that daily 8, and try to remain bullish, get back up above 72.3 to get to 75. Upside targets, downside targets. Amazon starting to slip below this 97 that it was chopping around yesterday. Still hasn't fallen out of its 4-hour cloud just yet, so let's see if it can hold up to 95. Get back above 97 to try to push. If we start to lose 95, likely coming back to this 92, 91 area. BA arriving back at 170 pre-market. If it starts to lose this 170, likely coming back to 165, 163.8. This is zone here. And if it can't hold there, then we've got the daily 21, daily 200, daily 15, all sitting around 160. So let's see if we can hold up, or if this is the start of a larger profit taking to get back to major liquidity. Cat. Arriving back at a key level, this 227.9, 228, let's call it. Let's see if it can hold there, get back above 230. And this daily 8, with the goal of getting back up where we just were. But if we start to lose this 228, coming back to 225, and the daily 21 sits down at 217, so we could see a little more profit taking. Coin coming right back down to 46, where they picked it up on Friday and took it up to 56, 58-ish. So let's see if coin wants to start to set in kind of a double bottom off of this 46 and catch another bounce. But there's a lot of negative crypto news and movement going on lately. But overall, I'll be watching this 46 to see if it can set a double bottom and rally back up again. Google. It's tried to remain very strong, was looking decent yesterday, coming down with the market today, has a 2-hour squeeze. Bottom sitting right near this 96. If we start to lose this 96, coming back to 95, where the daily 8, daily 21 sit. If we lose that, 93.5. and then 92 where this daily 15 sits. But let's see if we can hold this 96 bottom of this 2-hour squeeze and start to catch a bounce with the goal of getting back to this 98, 100, 101. GS. Oh, getting to the bottom of it. Squeezes around this 378. If we start to lose that, back to 375 where the daily 8 sits. And if we just keep slipping, 370, 365 where the daily 15 sits. Been on a very strong run since its earnings. Wouldn't be surprised for a little more profit taking. It is sitting at about third Keltner, getting a little extended. Meta's starting to slip below that 113.5. And the daily 21. We have the daily 8 here at about 110, we'll call it. So let's see if we can hold 110, get back to this 113, 115. We start to lose that 110, likely coming back to 105, or yeah, 105.5. That first Keltner down, and 101, where that daily 15 sits, near that psych level of 100. Oh, Microsoft slipping back below at 240, 241 this morning. We do have the daily 50, daily 8, daily 21, all sitting right below us, or right where we are pre-market. Let's see, now that we're below 241, if Microsoft keeps slipping back to 235, 232, 230. Those are the downside targets. Well, let's see if we can hold 235 and get right back above 240, 241. Netflix. Slipping below 300. Having a sizable gap down. If it can't catch a bounce near this 295, coming back to 290. With the daily 8 and that first Keltner sit. Should it start to lose that? We've got daily 15 at 282 and the daily 21 at 277.5. But yeah, 1, 2, 3 good days up. Sideways, sideways, starting to come back. See if we can find a bounce. Yeah, around this 290 or the 295. With the goal of getting back above 300 and back to 307. NVIDIA reported earnings last night. They seemed decent. Let's see, close around 159. Small gap down. Let's see if we can hold the daily 8 around 155 at the bottom of these squeezes. And if we can catch a bounce there, looking to get back above 160, 165, 170. But if we just keep slipping and lose that 155, likely coming back to 150, 147. The daily 21 is going to be just below that, about 145. QQQ. Gapping down quite a bit. Right back to 280. If 280 can't hold, likely coming back to 277 where the daily 21 sits. We have the daily 50 at about 278. We have the daily 15 at 275. So we've got a few levels of liquidity below if we lose 280. If we can catch a bounce, looking to get back to 285, kind of where we closed to fill the gap. SPX going to be gapping down 50. So we're going to be near 3,900. the daily 21 down below at 38.50 and the daily 15 at 38.61. So we've got a zone of liquidity as the downside target if we just keep slipping through 3,900. That's also where the gap starts from that CPI gap up. So let's see if it does get down, if it can hold top of that gap and daily liquidity to bounce and head back up. Or if we lose it there, then come into the daily 50 and maybe coming back to fill the gap. SPY. Pretty much near 390. If we start to lose 390, let's see if 388.5 can hold us up. It's a big key level. CPI kind of got through that, pulled back to it, and then took off further. So SPY looking for it to try to hold up this zone. If we start to lose that, coming back to 385, where the daily 21 sits. And that daily 50 at about 378.5, right near that 380, 381.5. So if we can't hold this zone, then likely coming back to this zone. But we do have the daily 21 right around that 385, which could provide some support if we do get down there. Tesla. Oh, Tesla pretty much sideways. It's about to get back to this 180 key level. If we start to lose that, coming to 175, recent low of 172, and my next zone is at 166, 167.5, down near that third Keltner. But if we can hold up 180, looking for it to get back to 190, push to 195 and 200. Let's see if we can hold the bottom of these squeezes. UVXY. Even though the market was weak and just kind of went slowly down yesterday, UVXY also slowly came down, now gapping up above yesterday's highs. So if we're going to see continued downside, we'll likely see UVXY stay above 9.2, 9.25, make its way up to 9.5, and maybe beyond. But if we can see the market hold and try to go back to fill the gap, we'll likely see UVXY get back below 9.2, try to make the journey back to 9 and lower. And on to VIX. VIX gapping up near 25. VIX at the top of a bunch of squeezes. So if we can see some upside in the market today, we want to see VIX stay below 25.25, maybe 25.5. But we want to see VIX start to reject these squeeze tops. Head back down below 25, 24.5, back to 24 if we're going to see any upside. But if we're going to continue to see downside, we'll likely see VIX hold above 24.5 or 25. Keep pushing up to this 25.8, the daily 21. Keep pushing through this recent high of 26 and get up to the daily 200 near 26.5. So just as we're setting progressively higher lows on VIX, if we're going to fully roll over on the market, we'll likely see VIX get right back up to these recent highs from CPI. And that's it. Hopefully this was helpful for everybody. It is a free Thursday, so if you're not already a member of Predicted Trades, come check us out. You can join our server for free. You can test out some of our tools every Thursday and trade along with us. So good luck today, everybody, and we'll see you in the room. Remember, it is OPEX week, so we need to lower our expectations.
Just like every day this week has gone, they make the move pre-market or overnight, and then they don't really take it anywhere during the day. Right, Monday, slow little grind up, big dump back. Just sat up here for a while on Tuesday, then had a dump and a pop. Yesterday was pretty much nothing. Very limited on any good risk reward on trades yesterday, and now we're heading on down. So let's see if they actually move things today or if they try to just hold it and chop around this 39.22, 39.41. Yeah. Basically, let's just remember that it's OPEX week and to adjust our expectations. But good luck today, everybody, and we'll see you in the room.